kiss goodnight. Denise, I'm so in love with
Music can bring an entire lifetime of memories rushing back with just the first few notes. Suddenly, you remember the radio that was always playing in the living room, the neighborhood diners with their glowing jukeboxes, or those weekend nights when you and your friends waited, hoping your favorite song would come on.
It was good, St. Dominique. He lived for you and me. From the labor
1963 was one of those years. It was a year that gave America not only timeless classics, but also the one and only moment in the spotlight for many gifted artists. They climbed the charts, filled the airwaves, and then quietly disappeared almost as quickly as they had arrived. Yet while their names may have faded with time, their music never left the hearts of the generation that grew up with it.
Kangaroo down, sport, tie me kangaroo down.
mind me platypus. Denise, Denise, oh, with your eyes so blue. Denise, Denise.
Let's turn back the clock and revisit 10 unforgettable one-hit wonders of 1963, and see how many of these songs still have you singing along from the very first note.
The only girl I care about.
Number 10, Rhythm of the Rain by the Cascades.
The only girl I care about is gone away. Looking for
The moment those opening sounds of thunder and falling rain were heard, millions of Americans in 1963 instantly knew what song was about to play.
I wish that it would go and let me cry in vain.
Rhythm of the Rain by the Cascades wasn't just a love song, it became a cherished memory for an entire generation. With its gentle melody and remarkably realistic rain effects, the record climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of the year's most memorable hits.
The only girl I care about has gone away. Louder.
When the British invasion swept across America, the Cascades gradually faded from the spotlight and never matched that success again. Even so, every time the rain begins to fall, this timeless melody still carries countless listeners back to their younger days.
Patter, pitter, patter. Whoa, whoa, listen to the falling rain.
But if this song left America quietly reflecting on lost love, the next one would have an entire beach bursting with energy from the very first laugh. Number 9, Wipeout by the Surfaris. All it took was one unforgettable laugh, followed by the shout, "Wipeout!" and suddenly the summer of 1963 came rushing back. Recorded by 4 teenage boys from California, this instrumental surf rock classic quickly became a staple on America's beaches and radio stations. Powered by its explosive drum solo, Wipeout climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold more than 1 million copies. But the band's later singles failed to capture the same magic, and the Surfaris gradually slipped out of the spotlight. Even so, whenever those pounding drums begin to play, an entire summer from the 1960s comes alive once again. But if California gave America the sound of crashing waves, the next song would touch the nation's heart with a melody that came all the way from Japan. Number 8, Sukiyaki, Ueo Muite Arukō by Sakamoto. In 1963, very few Americans understood the lyrics, yet millions found themselves humming along to Sukiyaki. With the warm, heartfelt voice of Sakamoto, this Japanese-language song unexpectedly reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming the first Japanese-language recording ever to achieve that milestone. Although the title Sukiyaki had nothing to do with the song's actual meaning, its deeply emotional melody touched listeners around the world and sold more than 13 million copies. Still, Sakamoto never enjoyed another major hit in the American market. More than half a century later, the song remains proof that music can cross every language barrier. And if this beautiful melody left listeners quietly moved, the next hit would bring smiles with a playful musical conversation between two young voices. If these songs are taking you back to some of the happiest years of your life, we'd truly appreciate it if you could take a moment to like this video. Mockingbird has lived on through many famous cover versions, from Dusty Springfield to James Taylor and Carly Simon. But if this song won hearts with its playful back-and-forth vocals, the next one would captivate the world with the simple, peaceful voice of a nun. Number 6. Dominique by the Singing Nun. At a time when rock and roll was shaking America, a simple voice accompanied by an acoustic guitar unexpectedly captured millions of hearts. Dominique, performed by the Singing Nun, also known as Sœur Sourire, tells the story of Saint Dominic through a gentle, uplifting melody. Few could have imagined that a Belgian nun would take this song all the way to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, while also topping the charts in several other countries. Yet because of her religious life, she could not pursue a performing career like other artists, making Dominique the one defining success of her musical journey.
It was good, Saint Dominique. He lived for you and me. From the
Even
labors
so,
long.
the song remains one of the most remarkable hits of the 1960s. But if its gentle charm brought America to a quiet pause, the next song would burst onto the scene with the bold confidence of young women unafraid to speak their hearts. Number 5. Tell Him by the Exciters.
If that guy's got into your blood, go out and get him.
The moment those driving drums kicked in, Tell Him made it impossible to sit still. Performed by the New York girl group The Exciters, the song delivered a bold message. If you love someone, don't be afraid to tell them.
I know something about love. Gotta show
With its
it.
infectious arrangement and powerful lead vocal, Tell Him quickly climbed to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of the standout girl group hits of 1963. Yet despite releasing several strong follow-up singles, the Exciters were never able to repeat that success, and gradually became a name remembered only by Even so, more than 60 years later, Tell Him still has the energy to get listeners tapping their feet. And if this song exploded with confidence, the next one became legendary for its mysterious atmosphere that has kept listeners debating for decades. Number 4. Sally Go Round the Roses by the Jaynetts. From its very first notes, Sally Go Round the Roses created a feeling that was both beautiful and strangely mysterious. With its rich layers of harmony, haunting echo effects, and deeply cryptic lyrics, the Jaynetts delivered one of the most unusual recordings of 1963. The recording sessions lasted for weeks, involved dozens of singers, and reportedly cost around $60,000, an enormous amount at the time. The result was a song that climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, yet also became the group's only major hit. To this day, no one completely agrees on what the song is really about, and that very mystery has kept Sally Go Round the Roses alive for generations. But if this song captivated listeners with questions that were never fully answered, the next one would prove that sometimes a single glance is enough to change a life forever.
Just one look
Number 3, Just One Look, Doris Troy. Sometimes, all it takes is a single glance to change someone's world forever. That was exactly the feeling Just One Look brought to radio listeners in 1963. With the powerful, soulful voice of Doris Troy, the song captured the magic of falling in love at first sight with rare sincerity. It quickly climbed to number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 3 on the R&B chart, while also inspiring numerous cover versions by well-known artists in the years that followed. Yet despite possessing one of the finest soul voices of her era, Doris Troy never scored another major hit. Even so, Just One Look remains proof that sometimes a single song is all it takes to be remembered for a lifetime. But if this song began with a single glance, the next one had America smiling with a story that could only have come from Australia.
Tie me kangaroo down, sport, tie me kangaroo down.
Number 2, Tie Me Kangaroo Down Sport, Rolf Harris.
Cockatoo cool curl, keep me cockatoo cool. Tango heck
Not
in
every
the
hit
pool.
song of 1963 was about romance. Some became famous simply because they made people smile, and Tie Me Kangaroo Down Sport was one of them. With its humorous lyrics and unmistakable Australian accent, Rolf Harris told the story of a dying stockman leaving his final instructions to his friends.
Down, sport, tie me kangaroo down. Mind me platypus
Its
duck
cheerful
bill.
melody, combined with the distinctive sound of the wobble board, helped the song climb to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, while spending 3 weeks at number 1 on the Easy Listening chart. However, Harris never had another hit that resonated with American audiences in quite the same way.
Tie me kangaroo down, sport, tie me kangaroo down.
Even so, Tie Me Kangaroo Down Sport remains one of the most unique and unforgettable songs ever to grace the airwaves of the 1960s. And after all of those unforgettable melodies, the number 1 spot belongs to a doo-wop classic that can still bring a smile to an entire generation with just its opening note. Number 1, Denise, Randy and the Rainbow.
Denise, Denise, oh with your eyes so blue. Denise, Denise.
Some names are so unforgettable that hearing them just once is enough, and Denise is one of them. Inspired by songwriter Neil Levinson's childhood friend, Denise was brought to life by Randy and the Rainbows with the sweet doo-wop harmonies that defined the early 1960s. In 1963, the song quickly climbed to number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and remained on the chart for 17 weeks, becoming the group's biggest and only major hit. But like so many artists on today's list, Randy and the Rainbows were never able to recreate that success and gradually faded from the spotlight.
Oh, can we kiss goodnight? Denise, I'm so in love.
Denise remains one of the most beloved doo-wop recordings of 1963, bringing to a close a remarkable year when a single song was enough to turn ordinary names into lasting memories for an entire generation. Unforgettable one-hit wonders of 1963. Some artists shined for only a single summer, while others stayed at the top for just a few short weeks. Yet every one of them left behind songs that people still remember more than 60 years later. Perhaps that's the true magic of music. You don't need dozens of hit records to be remembered. Sometimes, one unforgettable song is enough to last forever. Out of all the songs we revisited today, which one brings back the most memories for you? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love the timeless music that shaped an entire generation, don't forget to subscribe and join us as we continue our journey back to the greatest years in music history.